हेलो गाइस, हाउ आर यू। हम लोग जो है प्रियम्बल, वी आर गोइंग टू स्टडी प्रियम्बल एंड इट्स वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट टॉपिक्स, ओके, ऑफ योर यूपीएससी पॉलिटी। एंड प्रियम्बल जो है दोस्त, इससे ऑलमोस्ट 3 questions have come in the past 4 years. So it's a huge topic, okay. If UPSC is asking one question even from one topic, so it means that it becomes topic of importance. So preamble is one of our most important topic. उसको जो है हम लोग देखेंगे. Obviously I have been using Lakshmikant and DD Basu to make these handouts, so you just keep this in mind. Okay, so preamble है क्या? What is preamble? So preamble is your introductory statement. It is sort of an introduction. It welcomes you whenever you shall open the constitution, it will welcome you and it will tell you that what this constitution is all about, who has made this constitution, what are the principles behind making these constitutions, what are the objectives behind making this constitution. So this is to tell you that it is the people of India who have made this constitution. They are the people who hold the power, and at the same time, there are certain objectives that it needs to be fulfilled. Okay, so after independence, the control, the control of destiny, it came back into the hands of Indian people. Okay, so ये जो आपका प्रियम्बल है, इट इज हेविली इन्फ्लुएंस्ड बाय द ऑब्जेक्टिव रेजोल्यूशन. सो इस चीज को याद रखिएगा, प्लीज डू रिमेंबर दिस, दैट इट इज योर ऑब्जेक्टिव रेजोल्यूशन which was moved by Jawaharlal Nehru, which led to the creation of preamble. ओके, प्रियम्बल का जो क्रिएशन है वो ऑब्जेक्टिव रेजोल्यूशन के बाद हुआ है और उससे इंस्पिरेशन ड्रॉ किया है. और ऑब्जेक्टिव रेजोल्यूशन वाज इंट्रोड्यूस्ड very early on in the Constituent Assembly on 13 December 1946. So in the early stages of your constitution making, इस ऑब्जेक्टिव रेजोल्यूशन को जो है नेहरू ने इंट्रोड्यूस किया था. And it finalized and adopted by the Constituent Assembly on 26 November 1949, and enforcement happened on 26 January 1950. So can somebody tell me why they waited 2 months to enforce this? What was the reason for the enforcement? So basically, they wanted to pay respect to the Purna Swaraj Divas, or the Purna Swaraj declaration that had happened 20 years back in Lahore on the banks of river Ravi, in the Lahore session of Congress, where Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was the president of the session, and Purna Swaraj for the very first time, or total independence, complete independence, that was that became the motto of the Indian National Congress. उसके पहले क्या बोल रहे थे इंडियन नेशनल कांग्रेस वाले? They wanted dominion status. Okay, so it's a good thing that we did modern history. Okay, it's a good thing that we did modern history, ताकि आपको थोड़ा बहुत ये जो है लिंक कर पाए आप. रोल क्या है इसका? व्हाट इज द रोल ऑफ द प्रियम्बल? सो इट विल एक्ट एज द की टू अंडरस्टैंड द इंटेंट of the constitution's framers, what they had in their mind, what the constitution makers had in their mind. उसके बाद it also expresses the ideals and objectives of the constitution. इससे क्या करता है? एक्सप्रेस करता है किस चीज को? आइडियल्स और ऑब्जेक्टिव्स को. सो ऑल दीज थिंग्स can straight away go into your mains answer. If UPSC asks you what does the preamble reflect, so you tell them the UPSC people, that it reflects the ideals and the objectives of the constitution. It is key to understand the minds of our founding father. Who are the founding father? The founding fathers are the members of the Constituent Assembly, because this modern republic, this Republic of India, is built upon the Constitution of India, 1950. Okay. Now let us come to the text of the preamble. So we, the people of India. So ये बहुत important है. The people of India. These are the original owners of the country. They have made the country. These MPs and MLAs and the prime minister and the president, they have not made the country. Who has made the country? The people of India has made the country. If you will look at the text, we, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. Now, these five things: sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, is very important. Now, try to understand one thing. In GS2 mains, UPSC had asked you to tell about each one of them. What is sovereign, what is socialist, what is secular, what is democratic, and what is republic. Okay. So all you have to understand कि हर word का meaning क्या होता है. What is the meaning of each word in the context of the constitution. So understand this thing, that the people of India, okay, the people of India, they have made a country, India, which, according to the constitution, shall be a sovereign, a socialist, a secular, a democratic, and most of all, a republic. Okay. Now, being a republic is important. We will talk about all the other four criterias, but republic is very important. What does republic mean? What does being a republic mean in the modern context? Republic means that the head of state is elected. ओके, तो अब आप बोलिएगा तो रिपब्लिक का मतलब डेमोक्रेसी होता है ना, तो डेमोक्रेटिक रिपब्लिक क्यों कह रहे हैं? देखिए, डेमोक्रेसी जो है ब्रिटेन में भी है. Democracy exists in Britain as well, but it is not a republic. Why? Because the head of state is King Charles III. So the head of state is a monarch. A monarch is not elected. The monarch is hereditary. Raja ka beta Raja. Okay. So democracies, try to understand one thing and ask me if you have any doubt, because it is criminal to have any doubt in polity. Okay, polity में गलत करके नहीं आना है question. As many doubts as possible ask. So democracy can be either a republic or it could be a constitutional monarchy. In majority of the cases, we see that these two kinds of democracy, okay, are there. So republic जो है, इसमें head of state elected होता है. The head of state is elected. Okay. All right. And constitutional monarch में head of state is हेरिडिटरी. ओके, चलिए मैं एक एक करके क्वेश्चंस लेता हूं. व्हाई डज नॉर्थ कोरिया यूज रिपब्लिक इन इट्स नेम? सो नॉर्थ कोरिया हैज इलेक्शंस. those are not free and fair, but it has elections. And that is why they use the word republic. Okay. Then let me take another question. So, premise of abolishing titles is from this, not exactly. Abolishing title is because we are, we have risen above the zamindari system and the colonial system. So, abolishing titles is a way of decolonization, and it's a way to rise above our zamindari past. Okay. Define democratic once. I'll do that. See, democratic दो टाइप के हो गए. Democracy is in this country. एक particular country में democracy है. So in a normal circumstances, there can be two types of democracy. One is republic where your head of state is elected. Who is the head of state in India? In India, who is the head of state? Miss द्रौपदी मुर्मू और श्रीमती द्रौपदी मुर्मू जी. ओके. वो हैं. तो द्रौपदी मुर्मू क्या उनके फादर थे प्रेसिडेंट, उसके बाद बनी है कि उनको इलेक्ट किया गया है? हाँ? उनको इलेक्ट किया गया, तो हम रिपब्लिक हुए कि नहीं? हाँ? हम रिपब्लिक हुए कि नहीं? तो हमने अपने प्रियम्बल में क्या लिखा? डेमोक्रेटिक रिपब्लिक. ब्रिटेन में किंग चार्ल्स द थर्ड इज देयर एज द हेड ऑफ स्टेट. क्या उनके फादर या मदर थे किंग? Were his father or mother the king? The answer is yes. So they are a constitutional monarch. So that is why in the preamble you have to specifically write that we are a democratic republic. There is no raja here. There is no king who exists in India. Our head of state will also be nominated, okay, or elected rather. ठीक है. What is the difference between hereditary and nominated in the context? हेरिडिटरी मीन्स योर फादर, देयर फादर, उनके फादर, ऐसे चलता आ रहा है. ओके. नॉमिनेटेड मोनार्क नहीं होता. मोनार्क इज नेवर नॉमिनेटेड. ओके. ही इज ओके बाई, अगर आपको याद होगा तो डिवाइन राइट्स थ्योरी है. ही हैज द डिवाइन राइट टू रूल. बट in majority of the cases what we are seeing right now has it's the monarch has given off his duty to rule the people to a parliament, and in that case the country becomes democratic and constitutional monarchy is there. Is Bhutan a democracy? Is Bhutan a democracy? It is a democracy, but it is a constitutional monarchy. The king, he himself, it was an absolute monarchy. It was an absolute monarchy. The king gave out power. Now a prime minister, he rules the country, and the king is the head of state. ओके. तो वो वहां पर भी जो है आपका कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल मोनार्की आ गया. क्या ये चीज समझ में आई? डेमोक्रेसी के बीच में डिफरेंस. देयर इज अ रिपब्लिक वेयर द हेड ऑफ स्टेट इज इलेक्टेड, and then there is a constitutional monarchy where the head of state is hereditary. Okay. China has a communist system, People's Republic of China. It's not a democratic republic. They are saying that the people is holding power, and they have elected the Chinese Communist Party, the CCP, okay, to rule on their behalf, and it is a one party system. Okay. So people's republic hai, people's democratic republic nahi hai. Now somebody was asking, what about North Korea? North Korea's official name is DPRK, Democratic People's Republic of Korea. So democratic is there, but it is a communist country. But the thing is that in North Korea there are sham elections happening. वहां पर भी जो है इलेक्शंस होते हैं. देयर आर इलेक्शंस, बट द किम जोंग उन्स पार्टी, इट विंस 99.9% ऑफ द वोट्स. ओके. तो यही चीज है ना कि नाम में डेमोक्रेटिक रखा, इलेक्शंस कराया, फ्री एंड फेयर है. दिस इज नॉट द दिस इज नॉट समथिंग दैट वी आर डिस्कसिंग राइट नाउ. दैट विल वेट टिल वी रीच आर्टिकल 324. अभी के लिए ये समझ में आ गया आपको? डिड यू गेट दिस? ओके. सो उसके बाद दे से कि इंडिया का कैरेक्टरिस्टिक क्या है. इंडिया का कैरेक्टरिस्टिक क्या है? इंडिया विल बी ए सॉवरेन सोशलिस्ट सेक्युलर डेमोक्रेटिक रिपब्लिक. कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी कैन बी रिमूव्ड इफ पीपल रिवोल्ट, बट कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी कैन नॉट बी रिमूव्ड इफ पीपल गो एंड से दैट आई डोंट लाइक यू, गेट आउट. ऐसे नहीं होता है. कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी जो है, इट कैन ओनली बी रिमूव्ड व्हेन पीपल विल रिवोल्ट एंड द इंटायर थिंग विल शेक अप. कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी जो है वो रूल कर रही है चाइना को. देर इज वन पार्टी सिस्टम, दैट्स ऑल. ओके, वी नीड टू नो. ऑल राइट. नाउ we go ahead in the text of the preamble, that it's written secure to all its citizen. Secure to all its citizen. तो यहां पर आप समझिए कि सिक्योर का मतलब क्या है. इट मीन्स दैट द पीपल of India, they are telling you. So, this text is from whom? This text is from the people of India, and they have resolved to constitute India into a certain country. And the characteristic feature of this country is that it is sovereign, that it is socialist, that it is secular, democratic, and a republic. So, these five words, they tell you about the nature of the Indian state. Now, the citizens or the people of India, they are telling you what is the objective of making this republic. Okay. So, justice. So, they want justice. But of what nature? They want justice of social, economic, and political nature. This gives the impetus for us to have reservations, because justice can only be delivered when all the people are at the similar footing. So this is the basis that social justice kaise milega? When there will be reservation in the educational institutions, there will be reservation in government jobs, इन पब्लिक एम्प्लॉयमेंट. गवर्नमेंट जॉब्स को हम क्या कहते हैं? पब्लिक एम्प्लॉयमेंट कहते हैं. ओके, देन economic justice, how you are going to get? By progressive taxation. You guys remember progressive taxation? The people at the bottom of the hierarchy, they pay less tax, and the people at the top of the hierarchy, they pay more tax. So this is economic justice. And then political justice is how the joint electorate system, where certain seats are reserved for people from the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, and they stand for election and they get political justice. Okay, so justice हमारे country में तीन तरीके से हो रहा है: social, economic, and political. GS2 mains, they had asked you to write about this and to give your opinion. So please be ready. That is how you prepare for mains. This is a topic from your prelims preparation, but you have to keep in mind mains as well, because simply clearing prelims is not everything. No? You have to clear multiple stages, then you will become an IAS or IPS officer. तो ये चीज ध्यान में रखिएगा जो भी पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं. उसके लिए GS2 में पॉलिटी 100 मार्क्स क्या क्या पूछ सकता है इस टॉपिक से. दिस हैज टू बी ऑल्सो देयर इन द बैक ऑफ योर माइंड. नाउ कमिंग टू द सेकेंड ऑब्जेक्टिव that the people of India have, it is to have liberty. But what kind of liberty? In what sense we are talking about? We are talking about liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship. So thought and expression I have. Do I have? Via Article 19, I can spew any kind of nonsense I want. I can spew anything I want, as long as I am not infringing on the rights of other people. So I have liberty of thought and expression in this country. I can go to Twitter and write anything. I can go to Telegram and write anything. So yes, I do have liberty of thought and expression. Do I have liberty of belief? Do I have liberty of faith and worship? Absolutely. From Article 25 to 28, it ensures that I have liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship. Okay. The third thing that the people of India want is equality. They want equality of status and of opportunity. Equality of status, is it guaranteed via Article 14 and Article 15 and Article 16? Or of opportunity via Article 16. So, if I commit a crime and Salman Khan commits a crime and Shah Rukh Khan commits a crime or even the Prime Minister commits a crime, we all four, regardless of our status, will be equal in the eyes of law. And that is mandated by the Constitution. Okay, so Article 14 ensures that nobody can stop me from accessing public places. I can open the door of my home and I can walk outside. Nobody is there to stop me. So, what do I have? I have equality of status and I have equality of opportunity. I can sit in the same examination as you, and I can fill the form of the examination and I can sit in the examination and have an equal opportunity. Please focus on the word opportunity. This is not telling that, okay, you will be getting the rank or position or job. It is about equal shot. My father is something, your father is something, but both of us will be sitting in the civil services examination. Okay, so we both will have an equal shot. This is called equality of opportunity. And what does the people of India want to promote? So what till now, whatever we have done, we have seen that the people of India are constituting this republic, and the republic has a 5-word describing character, that it is a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. So we have described our republic within 5 words, and we have talked about what kind of aspirations the people of India want to secure. Now we will see that the people of India want to promote something above all. What is that? It is to promote fraternity. What is fraternity? It is the feeling of brotherhood, that my neighbor or my fellow citizen is my fellow brother, is my brother or sister. ओके, मेरा जो बगल में रहता है भाई, या मेरे रोड पे कोई चल रहा है, or somebody I have met in the mall, okay, if he is of this country, he's my brother. Okay. And fraternity assures the dignity of the individual, and what is also important, the unity and integrity of the nation. So unity and integrity is paramount. You cannot pick up arms against this republic and get away with it. The republic is supreme. Rather, the republic's unity and integrity is supreme. And it also tells about that in this Constituent Assembly, 26th day of November 1949, we do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this constitution. But was it enacted on 26th of November? No, we waited for 2 months before applying it and transitioning from a dominion to a proper republic, just because we wanted to honor the day of Purna Swaraj. ऑल राइट, सो इस चीज को जो है आप ध्यान में रखिएगा. सो हैव यू स्टार्टेड टू सी द प्रियम्बल फ्रॉम अ डिफरेंट लाइट आफ्टर वट एवर आई हैव टोल्ड यू? Because maybe there is a chance that before this you might have been reading it from a different perspective. But what we can see here in the past 15 minutes is that the preamble is forming the basis of all kinds of laws, policies, and behavior of the government. Okay. Now let us talk about the key ingredient of the preamble. So, source of authority, it talks about who is the source of authority. It is the people of India. What is the nature of Indian state? It is a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. Okay. What are the ideals the people of India want to achieve? They want to get justice. But what kind of justice? They are very specific about the kind of justice. They want social justice. They want economic justice. They want political justice. Liberty. What kind of liberty? Thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship. They want equality. What kind of equality? They want equality of status and opportunity. That's it. This is a very, very good demand. Is it a over the top demand to have an equality of status and opportunity? That my fellow citizen, I shall be equal to my fellow citizen. I am not asking for me to be above. Okay. I'm not asking for me to be above any other citizen. I'm just asking me to be equal and of opportunity. If I have the requisite qualifications, I should be able to sit for any kind of job I want. Okay. It also tells us about the preamble, the date of adoption, that is 26 November 1949. Now let us talk about the explanation of the keywords that we have seen. Sovereign is one word. What does sovereign mean? It means that India is independent and it can conduct its own affairs without external interference. We are free in the matter of internal policies, and we are free in the matter of external policies, and we can sign our own treaties, and we can acquire new territories, and we can cede our territory as we want. हमें जैसे चाहिए हम अपनी इंटरनल पॉलिसीज बना सकते हैं. नोबडी कैन टेल अस हाउ. हमें जैसे चाहिए वी कैन मेक आर एक्सटर्नल पॉलिसीज, वी कैन साइन ट्रीटीज. नोबडी इज गोइंग टू स्टॉप अस. वी कैन सीड आर टेरिटरी. हम अपनी टेरिटरीज को किसी दूसरे कंट्री को दे सकते हैं. ओके. एंड नोबडी इज देयर टू क्वेश्चन अस. एंड वी कैन ऑल्सो अक्वायर न्यू टेरिटरी एंड नोबडी विल क्वेश्चन अस. बट acquiring new territory, is it a blanket statement? Can nobody question us? Can nobody question us when we acquire new territory? So there is a caveat. What is that caveat, my friend? We can only acquire new territory as per standards of इंटरनेशनल लॉ. आप जो है अगर कोई किसी भी टेरिटरी को अक्वायर कर रहे हैं, इट हैज टू बी एज पर द इंटरनेशनल लॉ. You cannot be sovereign and then violate the sovereignty of other country, because as you cherish your sovereignty, other countries equally cherish their own sovereignty. So that is why you will acquire or cede territories as per the standards of international law. All right, it is clear. Then we are a socialist country. Now, were we a socialist country since the beginning? The answer is no. This term was added by the 42nd Amendment Act. And this 42nd Amendment Act had been asked in your 2021 prelims. In your 2021 prelims, they had asked this question. And they had framed the question as such that during the beginning of India's independence or Indian constitution, we were, and four options were there. So at the beginning, we were only a sovereign democratic republic. Socialist and secular were added later on. सोशलिस्ट एंड सेक्युलर इसको जो है बाद में ऐड किया गया था. सो कैरेक्टर ऑफ आर डेमोक्रेसी और रिपब्लिक, उसमें सोशलिस्ट ऐड किया गया. सो दिस इंप्लाइज डेमोक्रेटिक सोशलिज्म, which means achieving socialist goals through democratic means. So you can be a socialist country and you can be a democratic socialist country and a communist socialist country. What is the difference between democratic socialism and communist socialism? In the democratic socialism, private enterprises are allowed. Private ownership is allowed. Okay. Whereas in communist country, all means of production, that is land, labor, capital, all of them are with the state. Okay. You own nothing. Okay. So democratic socialism jo hai, it basically implies that the primary objective of the government will be to reduce inequality. It will be to ensure a welfare state and promote social justice. Okay, please remember that this is the primary objective. The primary objective is not to seize the land and seize the factories. No, the factories will work. But the government's policies will be made from the point of view of doing this. That is socialism. Okay. Then comes secular. This was also not present in the original constitution. It was also added by the 42nd Amendment Act. What does this mean? So this means that the state does not have an official religion and it treats all religions with equal respect and equal protection. And freedom of religion is guaranteed to all individuals under reasonable restrictions for public order, morality, and health. So suppose, for example, your religion says, or the religious text says that, okay, do female genital mutilation or do forced circumcision, or to do something where the rights of women are taken away. Okay, it could be in any form. So that is against public order, that is against the health of the people. But if you keep this in mind, that I am not going to play with public order, morality, and health, you can have freedom of religion as much as you want. यू आर फ्री टू बिलीव, यू आर फ्री टू नॉट बिलीव, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है ये. In India, you are free to believe and you are free to not believe. Because one problem that we see with Abrahamic religion is that the people who believe are tolerated, but the people who do not believe, they are not well received. Whereas in India, it is said from the very beginning, it is said from the very beginning that what we are going to do is we are going to have a secular country where people, if they want, they can believe, and they can believe within the boundaries of public order, morality and health. तो ये बहुत जरूरी है that you have to believe within the boundaries of these three. Then you can also choose not to believe. उसके बाद क्या है? All right. So this is important. We have talked about this, that secular जो है, you can believe, not believe, and the state, they will be equidistant from all the religions. Now, one thing that you have to understand is that how our secularism is different from the Western secularism. Okay. One example that I can give you is that of the burqa. Or let us give the example of hijab because it has been in news for a very long time. France says that I am a secular republic. I have nothing to do with the church, which was the primary religion of France. So, what happened was, from the erstwhile French colonies of Algeria and Morocco, many Muslim migrants, they went to France. Obviously, they brought their culture, and their culture, they had burqa and hijab. Now, France, it says that we are a secular country. So, in the Western secularism, this is a different form of secularism where you cannot wear the burqa and the hijab in public and at public places like schools and hospitals. Okay. So, it says that we are equal in matters of religion. So, we have completely made religion as a private affair. बुर्का पहनना है, हिजाब पहनना, if you want to wear it at your home. If you want to wear the Christian cross, wear it at your home. If you want to put tilak and if you want to put dhaga, do it at your home. But in the Indian matters of secularism, the burqa clad women or the hijab clad women can go and give the examination and nobody is going to stop her. She can go to a school and nobody will stop her. You can wear a kada, you can wear a tilak, and you can wear any religious object and nobody will tell you. And the thing is, nobody is going to force you to wear as well. मैंने आपको स्टार्टिंग में बताया था ना, बिलीव और नॉट बिलीव. You are free to believe by wearing the burqa hijab, by wearing the Christian cross, by wearing tilak. You are free to believe, but at the same time you are also free not to believe. Okay. So Indian secularism कैसा है? अगर मुझे एक डायग्राम बना के आपको समझाना पड़े, so this is the Western secularism where the state and church are कंप्लीटली सेपरेटेड, देर इज नो ज्वाइनिंग। ओके, दूसरा क्या है? दिस इज द स्टेट and this is the church. So this is your Indian secularism. Why I am writing church? Because secularism is a Western concept. We have modified it in India. दूसरी चीज क्या होगी? There is some triple talaq kind of thing in your religion. Where will triple talaq can have a law against it? Can triple talaq have a law against it in France or in USA or in India? कहां होगा? फ्रांस में होगा? द आंसर इज नो. In the matters of religion, the state does not interfere. Please remember, the state is totally out of religion. आपको घर के अंदर में किसी को ट्रिपल तलाक देना है, यू कैन गिव. Inside home, okay, inside home, whatever you want to give, all right, you can do. But in public places and in French law, you are equal in the eyes of the French law. ओके, घर में आप ट्रिपल तलाक दे सकते हो, बट क्या उसकी वैलिडिटी रहेगी इन द आईज ऑफ द फ्रेंच लॉ? इट विल नॉट. अब इंडिया के कंटेक्स्ट में बात करो, यू कैन गिव, यू कैन गिव ट्रिपल तलाक. विल इट हैव एनी वैलिडिटी इन द इंडियन कंटेक्स्ट? द आंसर इज यस, इट विल. वाई? बिकॉज इंडिया अलाउज पर्सनल लॉज टू एग्जिस्ट. नाउ यहां पर जो है, इन दिस सिचुएशन द गवर्नमेंट कैन स्वूप इन and it can ask to amend these personal laws. Whereas France and the Western countries, they do not care. What? Okay, you are a Parsi, you have a Parsi personal law. You are a Muslim, you have a Muslim personal law. You're a Christian, you're a Christian personal law. Hindu personal law. They don't care. They say this is the French Republic. Whatever you want to do inside your house, you can do. But the moment you step onto the public places, the French law will apply. Whereas in India, they will allow you to, your laws to exist. Okay. So इस तरीके से जो है complete separation of secular, of the church and the state happen. Whereas in the Indian context, there is not complete separation. Even in states like Uttar Pradesh, where we have a person who is the chief minister and who wears the Bhagwa robe, in his state, also a Muslim woman wearing a burqa can go and write her examination. And this is not possible in the Western secularism. So हम जब secular state की बात करते हैं, we say that the states do not have an official religion. It means IITs, Kendriya Vidyalayas, and any government offices, they will never have Saraswati Puja celebration. Official Saraswati Puja celebration will never happen. अरे नहीं होता है. आप स्कूल में कोई टीचर लड्डू बांटता है, कोई आपके जो कॉलेज है उसमें कोई प्रोफेसर मूर्ति चढ़ाते हैं, आपके ऑफिस में एम्प्लॉइज अपने में करते. कभी ऑर्डर आया है क्या सरकार की तरफ से कि सारे गवर्नमेंट ऑफिसेज में ये होगा, सरस्वती पूजा होगा? नहीं होता है कभी भी. केंद्रीय विद्यालय विल नेवर सेंड एन ऑफिशियल नोटिस दैट सेलिब्रेट ईद, सेलिब्रेट क्रिसमस. ओके, व्हाई? बिकॉज आवर स्टेट हैज नो ऑफिशियल रिलीजन. Pakistan has an official religion. What is that? It has Islam. So any government communication in Pakistan, it will start with what? Bismillah Rahman Rahim. If you will see any official communication, it will start with Bismillah Rahman Rahim. This is the official Islamic, this how people start in Islamic countries. कभी इंडिया में देखा है श्री राम जय राम से स्टार्ट हो रहा है या किसी और रिलीजन से स्टार्ट हो रहा है? नहीं. वी आर ए सेक्युलर कंट्री, वी डू नॉट हैव एन ऑफिशियल रिलीजन. ओके, सो ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस. ओके, ऑल राइट. सो ये चीज जो है आपको समझना होगा. प्राइवेट स्कूल है आपका, प्राइवेट स्कूल जो है आपका, वहां पर यू कैन सेलिब्रेट द एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन कैन से सेलिब्रेट सरस्वती पूजा और दुर्गा पूजा. But a government school in India can never send an official communication. It is always the employees or a student body or some, a professor who will distribute the sweets or who will put the murti. Because the state has no religion, they will never celebrate any religion. तो religion के दिन क्या करते हैं? If there is a festival, the state is equidistant, equally छुट्टी दे देता है. The state says, I am giving you a holiday. You want to celebrate at your home, you can do. You want to celebrate, don't celebrate, don't. I will not do anything. The state shuts down on the day of Holi, Dashera, Eid, Christmas. And they say that this is, okay, I have no religion. I will merely give you a holiday. Okay. But Western countries have UCC. Isn't it an interference in the religion? No, it is not an interference in the religion. It is basically saying that whatever you want to do in the privacy of your house, you are free to do. But the moment you come out, you have to follow the law of the land. It is an interference in the religion if the French law was made specifically for the Muslims, or the French law was made specifically for the Hindus, or the French law was made specifically for the Christians. So then UCC would be interfering. How can you interfere when you have a blanket law for everybody? Okay. ठीक है. ऑल राइट. ठीक है. और कोई क्वेश्चन है आपके? ऑल राइट, चलिए अब आगे कहते हैं डेमोक्रेटिक. सो डेमोक्रेटिक में क्या है? कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन इंश्योर्स ए गवर्नमेंट ऑफ द पीपल, बाय द पीपल एंड फॉर द पीपल. हु हैज सेड दिस? These famous lines, of the people, by the people, for the people. So a person known as Abraham Lincoln. Okay. अब्राहम लिंकन ने यह कहा था कि डेमोक्रेसी इज ऑफ द पीपल, बाय द पीपल एंड फॉर द पीपल. ओके. What are the features? Universal adult franchise, Article 326 of the Indian Constitution. Okay. Periodic elections after every 5 years. Majority rule with minority rights protection. Yes. Accountability of government to the people. How? The government is accountable to the people by being accountable to whom? By being accountable to the Lok Sabha or the House of the People. Lok Sabha specifically, why? Because Lok Sabha का नाम ही है House of People, or where the people have elected their representatives and they have gone to this area of legislature. उसके अंदर एक रूम के अंदर बैठे हैं and they are representing the people of India. Why? Because the people of India, they do not have much time to spare for governance, so they elect their representatives who go to these areas. Okay. And they sit in one room and then they make policies and law on behalf of the people of India. Then republic. What is the meaning? The meaning is that the head of state is elected and not a hereditary monarch. आपको मैंने स्टार्टिंग में क्लियर कर दिया था that when I say republic, the head of state will be an elected person. Now एक और चीज आपको समझ में आनी है कि the head of state, even if he is elected, he might not be equal to, he can be equal to, or he cannot be equal to the head of government, because then we are talking about a different system. यहां पर क्या है, सपोज आपको मैंने स्टार्टिंग में दिखाया, लेट मी शो यू, ये समझ में आ गया था जहां पर मैं टिक मार रहा हूं, डेमोक्रेसी, रिपब्लिक और कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल मोनार्की. एवरीबडी हैज अंडरस्टूड दिस, दैट द हेड ऑफ स्टेट इज इलेक्टेड, बट व्हेन द हेड ऑफ स्टेट इज इलेक्टेड, he can be head of state, but he can either be head of government, or head of government can be a prime minister. France, is it a republic? France, is it a republic? Yes or no? India, is it a republic? India, is it a republic? Yes. So both France and India are republics. Both France and India are republic, but France के जो head of state हैं, Emmanuel Macron, he is also the head of government. Whereas in India, the head of state is President Srimati Draupadi Murmu, but the head of government is called Narendra Modi. Okay. So यहां पर जो है, head of state can either be the head of government, that will be the presidential system, whereas head of state can be different from a head of government, then that will be the prime ministerial system. Okay. Yes, just a moment. Yes, you can unmute yourself.
So, sir, I have a doubt that China is known as People's Republic of China, and it says that people have the power to elect the government. And so says the preamble of India's constitution that we, the people of India. So, what is the difference between both the republics when people are the ultimate power holders?
Okay, so the difference is that the people have elected a person known as Mao Zedong and a party known as the CCP, and their work is over. That's it. 1949 में उनका उनका काम खत्म हो गया लाइफ टाइम के लिए. जब तक चाइना रहेगा और द पीआरसी विल बी देयर, उनको एक ही बार करना था. Whereas when we come to the Indian side of things, the Indian people, they are going to do it periodically every 5 years. Okay, so that is the main difference. Is it clear? Okay. अब हम बात करते हैं इस चीज की कि रिपब्लिक का एक इम्प्लीकेशन भी है. What is that implication? That all high offices of the country are open to every citizen without discrimination. Is there discrimination in the constitutional monarchy? In the constitutional monarchy, there is a discrimination when it comes to head of state. Can you become head of state in Britain? Can you become head of state in Britain? But is there a possibility for you to become head of state in India? The answer is yes. आप हो सकता है कल को 30-40 years down the line you can become the head of state. Okay. But in Britain, we already know who will become the head of state next. That will be Prince William. Prince William के बाद Prince George. So there is discrimination. Whereas in a republic, all high offices of the country are thrown open to every citizen. Okay. हाई ऑफिसेज नहीं, पब्लिक ऑफिसेज भी है ना. पब्लिक ऑफिस तो ऐसे भी खुला रहता है, पब्लिक ऑफिस तो ब्रिटेन में भी खुला रहता है आपके लिए, लेकिन सऊदी में भी खुला रहता है, सऊदी अरेबिया में. लेकिन हाई ऑफिसेज की हम बात करेंगे, व्हाई? बिकॉज इन सर्टेन सिस्टम द हाई ऑफिसेज आर ऑफ लिमिट and it is available only to a people having certain type of blood in their veins. Okay, is it clear? क्वेश्चंस पूछते रहिए प्लीज. इसमें बहुत गलत बात है, अगर अगर इसमें थोड़ा भी डाउट रह गया और उसके वजह से क्वेश्चन नहीं बना तो बहुत दिक्कत हो जाएगी. मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री, इकोनॉमिक्स, पॉलिटी में फिर बोल रहा हूं, तीन चीजें जो है आपको बहुत हेल्प करने वाली. दीज आर योर थ्री फ्रेंड्स इन योर प्रीलिम्स एग्जामिनेशन. ओके, अनलेस यूपीएससी डिसाइड्स अदरवाइज. जस्टिस, सो सोशल जस्टिस, removing social inequalities based on caste, gender, religion. Okay. Then economic justice, bridging economic disparities, ensuring welfare measures, and equitable distribution of wealth. Political justice, equal opportunity to participate in the political process. So इसमें दो चीजें होती है, and try to understand. देखिए justice जो है, अगर आप देखेंगे, so there was a meme. Have you seen those meme that three people are trying to watch a cricket match? One is a very tall fellow, and the other one is a moderately tall fellow, and the other one is short fellow. So the short fellow is not able to see the match, whereas the tall person is able to see the match clearly. So in the second half of the meme, the small person is given a stack of books or a stack of boxes on which the person stands and he is able to see. So this meme is actually a great representation for the need of reservation in this country. That the tall person are the people who are generationally prosperous, and the short people, they are the people who are generationally cursed. So the people who are generationally poor or generationally cursed, what cursed का मतलब जादू टोना नहीं होता, cursed का मतलब है inequality में जिए हैं. Okay, so the short person is from the people who are from the disadvantaged community, from the SC/ST community. So they need something to stand so that they can also watch the cricket match, and the cricket match is a symbol of prosperity. So this stool that they are getting, this is the reservation. This is the रिजर्वेशन. ओके, सो यहीं पर जो है हमारे पास क्या आता है, एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट कंसेप्ट आता है, दैट इज इक्वालिटी वर्सेस इक्विटी. ओके, सो इक्वालिटी का मतलब क्या होता है? इक्वालिटी मींस ट्रीटिंग everyone the same, whereas equity means treating people differently to achieve equal outcomes. Okay, you might not like it. Okay, so you might not like it. We are, what to say, obviously many people, okay, many people who are subscriber of this thing, okay, this whole thing, this is, they are sort of from upper caste demography. हमारी heavy है, upper caste demography है. So you might not like this. Okay, you might say कि यार हमने भी तो गरीबी देखी है ना. But एक वो होता है ना, that your experiences are important, but it does not mean that it translates to everyone else's experience. Just try to ask the caste of the maid servant that comes in your house. There is a very good chance that she will belong to the SC/ST community. Just try to ask the people who are sweeping the roads, their caste. बहुत मिलेंगे आपको, अपर कास्ट भी कब मिलते हैं ऐसी बात नहीं है, लेकिन 90%, 95% these people will be from the scheduled caste. Now you can talk about the efficiency of the current reservation system. That it is also promoting elitism within the SC/STs, but it also tells you a fact that there are people who are at a generational disadvantage. If 50, 60 years back your grandfather was a college educated person, he was in the top 2% of the population or top 1% of the population. ओके, सो इस चीज को जो है आपको समझना होगा. और हम किसके तरफ बढ़ रहे हैं? डू वी वांट इक्वालिटी और इक्विटी? डू वी वांट इक्वालिटी और इक्विटी? दैट इज इक्विटी. ओके, इक्विटी मींस, वो जो मीम आपको बताया कि एक टॉल फेलो है who is watching, there is a barrier, and this tall fellow is able to watch. Okay, then there is a person, okay, who is a bit shorter, and he is able to watch but with difficulty. Then there is a person who is not able to watch at all. So we are giving this person a very large stool so that he gets elevated, and this person, the second person, a small stool in comparison to this person. So this can translate to in the real world, this meme can be translated to in the real world as OBCs को, अदर बैकवर्ड कास्ट को थोड़ा कम सपोर्ट की जरूरत है, लेकिन थोड़ा सपोर्ट की जरूरत है। आपके जो SC ST उनको बहुत सपोर्ट की जरूरत है, एंड द जनरल कैटेगरी पीपल, बिकॉज ऑफ द जनरेशनल ब्लेसिंग्स, दे आर एबल टू गेट बाई विदाउट एनी सपोर्ट। ओके, इस ये चीज जो है कभी हम बाद में डिस्कस करेंगे, इफ मे बी इन द मेंस क्लासेस, बट अभी प्रीलिम्स के लिए समझ लीजिए। इक्वालिटी इक्विटी में सबको डिफरेंस पता चल गया होगा। लिबर्टी ऑफ थॉट एक्सप्रेशन, बिलीफ, फेथ एंड वर्शिप, सो सिटीजंस हैव फंडामेंटल फ्रीडम्स which is subjected to reasonable restriction to maintain public order, morality, health। ये तीन चीज याद रखिएगा, दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। Public order, morality, health। Public order means that your religion should not fiddle with public order. If your religion talks about, let us say, doing some bad thing to women, okay, so it is against public order. Okay, then suppose your religion has a ritual where you have to, do something bad in the public, maybe, sacrifice something in the public, human sacrifices. So human sacrifices, you can argue that this is part of my religion. See, in this book it is written that if you will sacrifice human, then only the religion will go. You will argue this is my right under article 25 to 28, but the state will say संभल के, this is against public order, this is against morality, and this is against health. If your religion says burn thousands of trees, it is against public health, and the government will stop you then and there. So three things are very important: public order, morality, and health. If you are able to keep all these three in mind, you enjoy unlimited freedom of religion. You want to believe in Buddhism and a specific kind of Buddhism, you are free to do, my friend. You want to believe in Hinduism and a particular sect of Hinduism, you are free to do. The only thing that the state is asking you, पब्लिक ऑर्डर ध्यान में, मोरालिटी ध्यान में, हेल्थ ध्यान में। इसका भी बहुत अच्छा कुणाल ने एक एग्जांपल दिया है, द जैन साले खाना। सो अ 14-year-old girl in Gujarat, she had committed Salekhana. So this had taken it in the form of a debate. It had taken shape in the form of a debate, and people were debating among themselves that okay, this is an integral part of the Jain religion. We have seen Chandragupta Maurya do it thousands of years back. We have heard, rather not seen, but we have heard Chandragupta Maurya do it. Jain Munis, they do this regularly. But how is it possible for a 14-year-old girl to make decision for herself? Because if you will study law, one thing they will tell you is that people below 18, they can't consent, and their decision making is null and void. Okay, so these kinds of things will be there, and this will form the basis of your GS2 studies. ये क्या बनेगा, इसी से आप GS2 के स्टडीज को करेंगे। अभी देखिए एक और चीज होती है, मान लिया कि 25 मई को पता चल गया कि मेंस लिख रहे हैं आप लोग, तो GS2 कैसे पढ़ाई करना है आपको। आपको देखना है हर एक आर्टिकल से, राइट फ्रॉम द यूनियन to citizenship and then beyond, fundamental rights, DPSP, what kind of things are in news. Okay, and then make your notes, and that is how you will study for your mains. Equality, absence of privileges or discrimination on grounds of caste, creed, and religion. Equality does not mean that somebody is having special privileges, okay, so that you can rise. इट मीन्स एब्सेंस ऑफ प्रिविलेज, किसी को कुछ प्रिविलेज नहीं, सभी लोग जो हैं इक्वल हैं इन द आईज ऑफ द लॉ. Opportunity, so equal access to public employment. Everybody can fill here the UPSC form as long as you fulfill certain criteria, age based and employment based, and let us say education based as well. Education and a level playing field in socio-economic domains. Then fraternity, it means a sense of brotherhood among the citizens. What is the goal of fraternity? Okay, so basically fraternity, when you will hold, so that person is my brother, he is not my slave, he is my brother. I don't care if he is from XYZ caste or ABC religion, that person in front of me is my brother. I should have this feeling of brotherhood, and that is how I will uphold fundamental rights. Because try to understand, are the fundamental rights only a claim against the state, or are they some of the fundamental rights claim against fellow citizens as well? Because all the fundamental rights are indirectly a claim against the center, or your government or the state. But some of the fundamental rights, they are also a claim against your fellow citizen. Can I say that Article 17, Article 17, it can be a claim against the state? Yes, but it also is a claim against your fellow citizen. किसी fellow citizen ने आपको बंद करके रख दिया. A fellow citizen has kept you in isolation, has kidnapped you. Okay. In principle, yes. So try to understand that all rights in principle, all the fundamental rights in principle are a claim against a state. But what I'm trying to make you understand is that can it exist without holding accountable other people as well? Because somebody has kidnapped me, so he has taken away my Article 21 rights. Okay. So ये चीज आप समझिए कि in principle the rights are a claim against the state. Okay. But there are certain fundamental rights. There are certain fundamental rights which is not possible for me to uphold, for my fundamental rights to exist, unless and until I am taking into account that the other person जो मेरे बगल में खड़ा है, that also his rights also needs to be, yes, that is correct. See, rights जो है inherently they are a claim against the state, but you have to also ensure one thing, that आप दूसरों की rights की respect कर रहे हैं, और दूसरी चीज क्या है, that the other person is respecting your rights. Okay, so that is how you will ensure. Okay, see, fundamental duties जो है, that is a different case. Fundamental duties, it asks you to respect your other person. All right, it asks you to do something, it asks you to develop a scientific temper, it asks you to respect women. All right, तो ये जो चीज है आपको समझना होगा. और उसमें एक और चीज है, मैंने आपको जस्टिसिएबिलिटी के बारे में कल की क्लास में बताया था. व्हाट इज जस्टिसिएबिलिटी? आई से दैट फंडामेंटल राइट्स आर जस्टिसिएबल. इट मींस दैट आई कैन गो टू कोर्ट and tell my fundamental rights have been taken away. But can I go to court and say that my fundamental duties, the other person is not doing his fundamental duties, he is spitting gutka on the road? Can I do that? No. Okay, so ye cheez justiciability we will study later down the line. What is the significance of the preamble? So this has the philosophical foundation, and it encapsulates the core values and ideology, that is justice, liberty, equality and fraternity. तो हमारी स्टेट की आइडियोलॉजी क्या है? हमारी स्टेट की आइडियोलॉजी है जस्टिस, लिबर्टी, इक्वालिटी एंड फ्रेटर्निटी। ओके, इट इज ए गाइडिंग स्पिरिट, हमें गाइड करता है। एंड प्रियम्बल जो है, इट इज यूज टू इंटरप्रेट द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल प्रोविजंस एज वेल। अगर बहुत ज्यादा एम्बिग्विटी हो जाती है, सो प्रियम्बल बिकम्स ए गाइडिंग लाइट फॉर द कोर्ट। देन द प्रियम्बल डिक्लेयर्स द अल्टीमेट ऑब्जेक्टिव्स ऑफ दिस रिपब्लिक। ये जो रिपब्लिक हमने बनाया है, what is the, the purpose of creating this republic is very well documented in the preamble, and this expresses the people's will. How do we know that? Because if you will know that the constituent assembly people, they were indirectly elected via the people from the provinces, and those people in the provinces, they had the mandate from the 1946 elections। ये याद है आप लोगों को? पहले 1946 इलेक्शंस जो है, उसमें प्रोविंसेस में एक गवर्नमेंट आई, एंड दीज गवर्नमेंट दे सेंट इनडायरेक्टली इलेक्टेड पीपल टू द कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली। यस, ओके। प्रियम्बल एज पार्ट ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, अब ध्यान से सुनिए। ओके, ऑलराइट, ध्यान से सुनिए। दो चीजें प्रियम्बल में बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। अभी तक तो चलिए हमने बहुत अच्छी अच्छी बातें कर ली। प्रियम्बल में अगर प्रीलिम्स के लिए ध्यान दे रहे हैं आप लोग, सो अमेंडेबिलिटी पे फोकस करना है कि क्या प्रीलिम्स को अमेंड किया, प्रियम्बल को अमेंड किया जा सकता है। और दूसरी चीज है, इज प्रियम्बल ए पार्ट ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, बिकॉज बोथ ऑफ देम हैव फीचर्ड इन द PYQ। ओके, both of them have been part of the PYQ or the previous year questions. So now let us talk about the preamble as a part of the constitution. What is the current status क्या है, उसके बाद हम कहानी सुनेंगे। Current status is, yes, it is part of constitution, but it is read independently of other parts। इसका मतलब क्या है? इसका मतलब ये है, ओके, ये जो पार्ट ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बिल्कुल है, एंड इट इज रेड इंडिपेंडेंटली ऑफ अदर पार्ट्स ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन। प्लस यहां पर हम देखते हैं तो स्टार्ट कैसे हुआ था। एक बेरूबारी यूनियन का केस था इन 1960, और वहां पर क्या है, नेहरू wanted to send the Berubari Union area to Pakistan. Okay, he wanted to transfer, and the question arose whether the preamble could be used to interpret the constitution। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने क्या कहा था बेरूबारी यूनियन में? इट इज नॉट ए पार्ट ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन। कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का पार्ट नहीं। ये कब कहा था? ये 1960 में कहा था। One thing that you need to understand is that the courts can change their decision, the courts can overturn their decision. This is part of the court being a court of record। मतलब जो भी कोर्ट डिसीजन लेता है, it is recorded so that in future it can be amended, it can be overturned, or it can be upheld। Okay, so here what had happened, that in the 1960 it was declared that it is not a part of the constitution, but in the Kesav Nanda Bharti case, I am saying this again, especially to the people whose first attempt this is, जिनका पहला अटेम्प्ट है, आपको अपने GS2 में ऐसे ही केसेस लिखना पड़ेगा हाथ से। You cannot escape the mains trap without writing the cases like this। So Kesav Nanda Bharti case 1973, basically it was ruled that preamble is पार्ट ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन। तो वहां यहां क्या हुआ है? क्या मैं कह सकता हूं कि बेरूबारी वाले को ओवरटर्न कर दिया, अपने ही वर्डिक्ट को ओवरटर्न कर दिया? न्यू जजेस केम, new ideas came to the Supreme Court. The old judges retired, the old judges died. So now in 1973, after 13 years, in the Kesav Nanda Bharti case, they says that this is actually a part of the constitution, and this question has been asked in 2021 prelims. So 2021 prelims में जो है आपको यही समझना है कि yes, the current status of the preamble is that yes, it is part of the constitution and it is read independently of other parts. Okay. Now इसको बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर डॉक्ट्रीन के साथ इंटरट्वाइन कर दिया गया था. डू नॉट गेट कंफ्यूज, देयर विल बी अ क्लास ऑन बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर, बट आई विल बी वेरी ब्रीफ हेयर टू मेक यू अंडरस्टैंड that basic structure means that you can amend the constitution, but you can not amend the basic structure. और बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर क्या है, वो कैसे डिसाइड होगा? तो ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड, दिस इज एन इवॉल्विंग लिस्ट. मतलब ये लिस्ट एक जिंदा लिस्ट है, एंड इसमें हर जजमेंट के साथ सुप्रीम कोर्ट कीप्स एडिंग new things that it consider as part of the basic structure. Now you will say that ऐसे तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट बहुत ज्यादा पावरफुल हो जाएगा. विल यू से दिस और नॉट? कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट एक इमेजिनरी लिस्ट बनाया है और उसमें चीजें डालते जा रहा है विच इट कंसिडर्स पार्ट ऑफ द बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर, एंड देन यूजिंग दिस बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर इट स्टॉप्स द पार्लियामेंट फ्रॉम अमेंडिंग द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. सो यू विल से यस और नो, क्या इसके वजह से हो रहा है? तो द आंसर इज यस. जुडिशियल सुप्रीमेसी का दौर, या अपने कंट्री में इन इंडिया जुडिशियल सुप्रीमेसी स्टार्टेड आफ्टर द बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर डॉक्ट्रिन. बिफोर दैट वी हैड ए parliamentary supremacy. Now we have shifted to the judicial overreach. That is why Arun Jaitley, he has said that we are living in a tyranny of the unelected. Why he has said this? Can anybody tell me why he has said that we are living in the tyranny of the unelected? Because judges are unelected. Okay. So यहां समझिए that preamble is a part of constitution and it can be amended. It can be amended. All right. But it cannot be altered if the amendment touches the basic structure of the कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर मतलब क्या होता है? बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर का मतलब होता है बेसिक एसेंस. देर आर सर्टेन features of the constitution which are basic integral to the constitution, and this comes under the basic structure doctrine. Okay. So यहां पर फिर मैं बोलता हूं इट्स पार्ट ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, एंड ये जो है आप इसको अमेंड कर सकते हैं, लेकिन लेकिन यहां पर जो है आपको समझना होगा, अगर आपका अमेंडमेंट इफ इट इज ऑल्टरिंग द बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर देन यू कैन नॉट अमेंड. ओके. सो क्या कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन हमारा प्रियम्बल रादर वो अमेंड हो सकता है? द आंसर इज यस. Part of it is why? Because it can be amended because it is part of the constitution, but it is read independently of other parts. Now somebody has asked कि ये जो preamble is part of the constitution. Okay. Preamble is part of the constitution and it is read independently of other parts. इसका मतलब क्या है? When the सुप्रीम कोर्ट सेज दैट इट इज पार्ट ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, इसका मतलब कि अमेंडमेंट किया जा सकता है. ये जो है कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का एक पार्ट है, इसका अमेंडमेंट किया जाता है, बट रेड इंडिपेंडेंटली ऑफ अदर पार्ट्स. इसका मतलब क्या है? इसका मतलब क्या है? इसका जो इंटरप्रेटिव सिग्निफिकेंस है उसके तरफ सुप्रीम कोर्ट इशारा कर रहा है. उसके तरफ इशारा कर रहा है कि ये जो है it does not confer any specific power. नाउ समझिए, पहले बेरूबारी केस में उन्होंने खुला बोल दिया था भाई ये तो पार्ट है ही नहीं और इसको आप अमेंड कर नहीं सकते। ठीक है, यहां पर क्या बोला था बेरूबारी में, दैट इट्स नॉट अ पार्ट। ओके, लेकिन यहां पर कहा कि इट्स पार्ट ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन। In the Kesav Nanda Bharti case, after 13 years, they say it is part of the constitution. It is integral part. यहाँ क्या लिखा हुआ है? Integral part. But it does not being the part of constitution, इसको कोई specific legal powers नहीं मिला हुआ है। इसको क्या है? कोई specific power नहीं मिला हुआ है। All right. So you cannot file a case purely on the basis of a preamble violation. Did you understand? कि सिर्फ प्रियम्बल का वायलेशन हो रहा है तो लेट मी गो टू द सुप्रीम कोर्ट। इज इट क्लियर? बिकॉज इसको अलग रखा गया है, इसको पार्ट ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बनाते हुए भी इसको कहा गया है दैट इट विल बी रेड इंडिपेंडेंटली ऑफ अदर पार्ट्स, सो दैट एनी पर्सन कैन नॉट गो टू द कोर्ट सिंपली फॉर द सोल वायलेशन ऑफ द प्रियम्बल। प्रियम्बल का काम क्या है? प्रियम्बल का काम है एड करना। इंटरप्रेट जब करना चाहता है सुप्रीम कोर्ट, सुप्रीम कोर्ट का काम क्या है? द प्राइमरी वर्क ऑफ द सुप्रीम कोर्ट इज टू इंटरप्रेट द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन। सो ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड कि जब भी एम्बिगुअस प्रोविजंस होंगे जहां पर सुप्रीम कोर्ट को समझ नहीं आएगा, सो इट कैन टेक हेल्प ऑफ द प्रियम्बल, बट एट द सेम टाइम you cannot file a case solely on the pretext of violation of preamble. Now try to understand one thing, that ये जो इंटरप्रेट कर रहा है एम्बिगुअस प्रोविजन, इंटरप्रेट कर रहा है जो एम्बिगुअस प्रोविजन, वुड इट बी पॉसिबल इफ प्रियम्बल वाज नॉट पार्ट ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन? क्या आप इंटरप्रेट कर सकते थे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के प्रोविजंस को if it was not the part of constitution? The answer is no. The answer is no. The only reason, फिर मैं कह रहा हूं ध्यान से सुनिएगा, the only reason you can interpret ambiguous provision is because preamble is a part of constitution. ये चीज समझ में आ गया? Now when I say, or when UPSC says that the preamble is read independently of other part, although it is part of the constitution, but it is read independently of other part. What does this mean? I can use the preamble to interpret the parts of the constitution, but at the same time I cannot go to the Supreme Court or to any court solely on the violation of the preamble provision. Is it clear? क्या ये चीज सबको क्लियर है? नहीं क्लियर है मैं फिर बताने के लिए तैयार हूं, बस आपको मुझे बताना है यस और नो। क्या आपको समझ में आया ये चीज, दैट प्रियम्बल इज पार्ट ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन एंड इट इज टू बी रेड इंडिपेंडेंटली ऑफ अदर पार्ट्स? मतलब प्रियम्बल पार्ट है कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का। ओके, इट इज टू बी रेड इंडिपेंडेंटली ऑफ अदर पार्ट, मतलब सोली ये आप नहीं जा सकते हैं कोर्ट के पास ये कहते हुए, you cannot go to the court saying this, that see preamble has been violated, but the court can use the preamble to interpret the constitution. Why? Because the court considers it to be part of the constitution, मतलब कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन जो किताब है उसका पार्ट मानती है, but at the same time it also says that sole violation of the preamble cannot be a reason for you to approach the court. ओके, तो यहां पर मैं फिर से बता देता हूं, बेरूबारी यूनियन केस में द सुप्रीम कोर्ट इन 1960 has held that preamble is not part of the constitution. It overturned its decision in the case of Nanda Bharti case by saying that it is indeed part of constitution. And UPSC had asked a question जहां पर जो ऑप्शन में क्या लिखा हुआ था, part of constitution but read independently of other parts. यहां पर मुझे यस और नो का आंसर चाहिए, वेदर यू हैव अंडरस्टूड और नॉट। ओके, यस यू हैव अंडरस्टूड, स्पेशली द फर्स्ट टाइमर्स जिनका ये पहला अटेम्प्ट है, पहली बार जो पढ़ रहे हैं, आप बिल्कुल बेझिझक बोलिए, नोबडी इज हियर टू जज यू, डायरेक्ट मैसेज कर दीजिए, लेकिन आपको लैपटॉप बंद नहीं करना है या टैबलेट बंद नहीं करना है विदाउट अंडरस्टैंडिंग। ओके, फिर कोई फायदा नहीं है लाइव क्लास आने के लिए। ओके, ये चीज समझ में आ गया। एक चीज समझिए, दैट द कोर्ट्स कैन रेफर टू द प्रियम्बल टू अंडरस्टैंड एंड री इन्फोर्स द एसेंस ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल प्रोविजन, especially the fundamental rights and directive principle, but at the same time, sirf preamble, only preamble is being violated, can you approach the court? Nothing else is being violated, only the preamble, you cannot. But when you approach the court saying that see my fundamental rights or the DPSPs में कुछ problem है, please tell the government to enforce the DPSP, or please uphold my fundamental rights, then the preamble can be used. Why the preamble can be used? Because it is considered a part of the constitution. लक्ष्मीकांत में सिर्फ पार्ट ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन लिखा गया है। ये जो रेड इंडिपेंडेंटली, जहां पर आई थिंक कुछ आप में से किन्हीं को हो सकता है प्रॉब्लम, ये जो लाइन है ना, रेड इंडिपेंडेंटली ऑफ अदर पार्ट्स, ये यूपीएससी में पहली बार लोगों ने देखा था 2021 के प्रीलिम्स में। सो 2021 के प्रीलिम्स में ये पहली बार ये लाइन आई थी। नॉर्मल बुक्स में जब आप पढ़िएगा, इफ यू विल पिक अप द नॉर्मल बुक्स, यू विल सी ओनली द फैक्ट दैट प्रियम्बल इज, यस, इट इज ए पार्ट ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन एज सेड बाय द केशव नंदा भारती केस जजमेंट। ओके, लेकिन ये जो रेड इंडिपेंडेंटली ऑफ अदर पार्ट्स है, ये समझना हमारे लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है। वाई? बिकॉज यूपीएससी का स्टैंड ये है दैट जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में प्रियम्बल है, इट इज पार्ट ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, बट एट द सेम टाइम इट इज रेड इंडिपेंडेंटली ऑफ अदर पार्ट्स। ओके, आई टेक अ क्वेश्चन, पार्ट ऑफ इट, क्या ये कहना, somebody was asking कि क्या ये कहना ठीक रहेगा, आई मिस दैट, आई थिंक part of it yet independent from other articles and part. Yes, Rohit, you are correct. Okay, ठीक है। Citizens cannot approach the courts regarding violation of their rights as mentioned in the preamble, but courts itself can use preamble to uphold. See, you cannot say that the rights are mentioned in the preamble, because preamble is sort of a, you can say, a guiding light. It is a directory inside के अंदर क्या मिलेगा, एक preface है। Okay, so you cannot approach that. It has to be specific. Which right? Okay, विच राइट हैज बीन देयर। आप ऐसे नहीं बोल सकते मेरा सोशल जस्टिस सरकार छीन रही है, मेरा इकोनॉमिक जस्टिस छीन रही है, ऐसा नहीं होगा। आपको स्पेसिफिक राइट्स बोलना पड़ेगा, और स्पेसिफिक राइट्स जैसे ही आप कहिएगा, तो वो पार्ट 3 दैट इज फंडामेंटल राइट्स के अंदर आ जाएगा, एंड नाउ यू कैन डायरेक्टली गो टू दी कोर्ट। ओके, criminality instead of, okay, anyways, all right, in other words, you cannot file a case purely, yes, so you cannot file a case purely on the basis of a preamble violation. Okay, all right. Being read independent, there was also a provision of Navtej Singh Johar case reading down the criminality of section 377 instead of I cannot comment on this right now. Okay, maybe we can chat in this on the DM, but ये जो है अभी के लिए ये समझ जाइए आप। अमेंडेबिलिटी ऑफ द प्रियम्बल, इस पे ध्यान दीजिए। सो अमेंडेबल है क्या प्रियम्बल? So in the Kesav Nanda Bharti case, the court clarified that while the preamble is part of the constitution, it is not outside the purview of amendment. मतलब you can amend, but you cannot damage or destroy the basic structure. तो अब आप पूछिएगा कि ये जो बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर है ये क्या भला है? What is this basic structure that this guy is telling me? सी बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर जो है, इट्स अ डिफरेंट टॉपिक ऑल टुगेदर, उसको समझने में टाइम लगेगा, बट मैं बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर क्या, एक बेसिक प्रिमाइस दे देता हूं आपको। दिस इज बेसिक एसेंस ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन कैन नॉट बी डिस्ट्रॉयड। बेसिक एसेंस हु डिसाइड्स? It is the judiciary who decides what is the basic essence. And this is a novel Indian invention which has ensured judicial supremacy. It has been the talk, okay, topic of talk in the parliament. The legislature जो है, basically it is protesting against this basic structure. Why? Because it is not a fixed list, it is an evolving list. What is the basic essence that you cannot damage or destroy? ये हर केस के साथ नया चीज ऐड होते जाता है. समटाइम्स इट इज सेक्युलरिज्म, समटाइम्स इट इज रिपब्लिक, समटाइम्स इट इज द फेडरल कैरेक्टर. ओके, तो ये चीज समझ जाइए, इतना समझ में आ गया आपको दैट बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर इज बेसिक एसेंस एंड यू कैन नॉट अमेंड समथिंग when you are destroying this basic essence. And who will decide that this basic essence is being destroyed? It is the judiciary, the Supreme Court. Elements in the BSD. What is BSD in this context? Basic structure doctrine. Yes, you are correct. Elements in the basic structure doctrines cannot be removed. Okay. सो यहां पर समझिए कि प्रियम्बल का एक बार अमेंडमेंट हुआ था. कब हुआ था? 42nd अमेंडमेंट एक्ट 1976 में. ये क्वेश्चन GS2 में आ सकता है. व्हाई? डू यू नो व्हाट इज 42nd अमेंडमेंट एक्ट कॉल्ड? अनऑफिशियली इट इज कॉल्ड द मिनी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. इसको क्या कहते हैं? इसको मिनी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन कहते हैं. व्हाई? बिकॉज बाय द 42nd अमेंडमेंट एक्ट so many new provisions were introduced. इतने सारे नए प्रोविजंस जो है उसको इंट्रोड्यूस कर लिया गया था कि ऐसा लगा कि एक छोटा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ही डाल दिया गया है. तो इन GS2 दे कैन आस्क यू दिस क्वेश्चन, माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, प्लीज बी रेडी. That okay, how, why the 42nd amendment act was pivotal for India, something like this. Okay, and the 42nd amendment act, it is the only instance where the preamble was amended. And here they inserted three words: socialist, secular and integrity. Okay, ये तीन वर्ड जो है. So UPSC can ask you directly all the three words बताओ. Socialist, secular, integrity. They can mix and match, jumble. हो सकता है सोशलिस्ट सेक्युलर की जगह सेक्युलर हटा के डेमोक्रेटिक लिख दे. बट यू नो दैट डेमोक्रेटिक वाज देयर सिंस द बिगिनिंग. तो सोशलिस्ट, सेक्युलर एंड इंटेग्रिटी वाज इंट्रोड्यूस. सोशलिस्ट सेक्युलर किसमें? सोशलिस्ट सेक्युलर, सॉवरेन सोशलिस्ट सेक्युलर डेमोक्रेटिक रिपब्लिक. स्टार्टिंग में क्या था फ्रेंड? ओनली सॉवरेन डेमोक्रेटिक रिपब्लिक. दिस वाज इन द ओरिजिनल, दिस वाज इन द ओरिजिनल कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. और उसके बाद क्या ऐड हो गया? उसके बाद ऐड हो गया सोशलिस्ट सेक्युलर और सोशलिस्ट सेक्युलर यहां ऐड हो गया. और एक और वर्ड इंटेग्रिटी, इट वाज एडेड इन यूनिटी एंड इंटेग्रिटी. पहले सिर्फ यूनिटी था, इन द 42nd अमेंडमेंट इंटेग्रिटी ऐड हो गया. ओके, and this established a precedent that the preamble can be indeed amended under Article 368 of the Constitution. Article 368 of the Constitution, it carries provisions. Okay, it carries provisions, all right, related to this thing, all right, related to the amendment of the Constitution. all right. नहीं, सिर्फ सोशलिस्ट सेक्युलर और इंटेग्रिटी ऐड हुआ था. सोशलिस्ट सेक्युलर और इंटेग्रिटी जो है वो ऐड हुआ था. ओके, इफ यू विल रीड द, ओके, इफ यू विल रीड द थिंग, तो उसमें जो है फ्रेटर्निटी लिखा हुआ है. ओनली थ्री वर्ड्स फ्रेटर्निटी लिखा हुआ है. रीड द ओरिजिनल प्रियम्बल और उसमें यू विल फाइंड कि फ्रेटर्निटी इज देयर. ओनली थ्री वर्ड्स इज देयर. व्हाट इज दैट? which has been added? Socialist has been added, secular has been added, and integrity has been added. Go and see on the, yeah, I have sent the original preamble. Okay, yes. So केशव नंदा भारती केस जजमेंट में बोला कि प्रियम्बल इज पार्ट ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन एंड इट इज नॉट आउटसाइड द परव्यू ऑफ अमेंडमेंट. मतलब इट कैन बी अमेंडेड, यू कैन अमेंड. ओके, So values like sovereignty, democracy, republicanism, secularism, and judicial review, all of them cannot be removed. Matlab, you cannot remove the word sovereign from the preamble. You cannot remove the word democracy, republic from the preamble. Why? Because this will interfere with the basic structure of the constitution. Okay. And parliaments cannot amend the constitution, particularly the preamble, in a way that remove or alters its essential features. And essential features का example क्या है? Democratic or republic or sovereign. These words cannot be removed. I think Siddharth और राघवेंद्र were asking this question कि एक example दे सकते हो, तो यही this is the example that essential feature जो है, basic feature जो है, वो आप नहीं हटा सकते. And who decides this basic feature? This basic feature is decided by the Supreme Court on a case by case basis, and there is an evolving list of things which the court considers to be part of the basic essence or the basic feature of the constitution. तो मैंने फिर से बोलना है यहां पर एक बात कि पार्ट है प्रियम्बल कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का, एंड यस इट कैन बी अमेंडेड प्रोवाइडेड it does not fiddle with the basic structure of the constitution. It is a part, yes. It is read independently of other part, yes. It means that you cannot go to the court simply on the basis of violation of preamble, but the court can use this preamble to interpret ambiguous provisions, and the parliament, using its power under Article 368, it can amend the preamble, but they can only amend it if it does not fiddle with the basic structure. Is it clear to everybody? Is it clear to everybody? All right. Wonderful.